So the first section in our e-learning module for counseling has to do with the importance of counseling skills. So I'll define counseling so we get an idea of what I'm talking about, and then highlight the major considerations that we'd like you to keep in mind while you are engaging in some form of counseling with our campers. So counseling involves the application of communication and interpersonal skills to support a person who might be struggling and improve their well-being. Counseling helps people navigate difficult life situations. It provides insight or perspective into the person's circumstances. And a lot of times it empowers that person to lead a healthy and fulfilling life. So the three main considerations I want you to keep in mind when interacting with our campers is safety, empathy, and hope. So safety is always first and foremost for us. So always assess whether or not the camper is safe to have a conversation before providing any form of counseling. You can assess this by the level of distress that they're in. If it seems to be an uncontrollable level, that might be a good time to either include one of the well-being team or even seek out my assistance in that situation so we can go in and de-escalate and hopefully make sure that that camper gets back to a level of distress that's more manageable. A lot of times they'll need help with that. If you've done that type of assessment and you realize, okay, they're at a level of distress that I think I can help them through, then applying some of these counseling skills will be really helpful. Secondly, empathy. Empathy is an expression of care, understanding, respect, and emotional connection you have with that camper. So keep in mind that you want to lead with empathy whenever you're engaging in counseling skills. They may even have a different experience from you. And sometimes when people are a bit different, we have a tendency to judge. So we want to make sure that when we're leading with empathy, we can acknowledge any maybe judgments or things that are coming up for us internally, and just refocus on what might be going on for that person. Let me take myself out of this for a minute and just really feel with that client in the moment, or camper in this case. The last thing is hope. A lot of times our campers have lost hope that a joyful and fulfilling life lies ahead of them now that they've experienced a significant loss. So we would love to imbue hope on our campers wherever possible. So any way that you can make a statement or find in their situation a glimmer of hope and reflect that back to them is really important. You want to bring their focus back to aspects of their life that bring the promise of a joyful future. And that also, you provide a positive role model of someone who can see, the light or the positive aspects of life even through these difficult ones. Now, don't get too quick to start telling them about all the positives or trying to get them to see it a different way. This would be done toward the end when they're already, they've processed a lot of the emotion. Don't rush this part, and we'll talk about how we might use the timing of this later in the learning module. So, but we do in the conversation at certain points want to impress upon the camper that there is hope, that there are still connections in that camper's life that will support them and create meaning even in this very difficult situation.